Cuesta is there,
And I left
protecting
it
it. I offered to bring it, and I said, load it up and I'll take it, we'll make sure it gets it. He couldn't, for whatever reason, he was worried about somebody else, so he called. I miss Hop, hopefully, did it get, is it in? Okay.
We have it.
Right there, we could have lost the table.
No,
We could have lost
no,
the
we
table.
couldn't have.
Really?
And I
It was left at
I
the park.
resent, yes, with a board
Right,
member.
okay, we're arguing about
And I-
something that didn't happen.
Excuse me, and I
which
went
is
back
really neat
and got it from
from
Q.
a
Because I couldn't
moderator's
lift the heavy things by
perspective.
myself, but that's beside the point. I went back and got it, and Howard and I
All
took
right,
it to the
let's hear
storage
from Maria
place.
and then we're
So
moving
don't
on.
make accusations if
All
you don't
right.
know what you're talking about.
Very
was
good.
there in the park?
Miss
With
Churchill.
Q, Q was a board member.
But nothing happened, so it doesn't matter.
And I was there with him pretty much
All right.
the whole time also.
This is the first time we've ever argued over something that didn't happen.
That's
so
right,
this is
that's
pretty exciting
stupid.
for me
Yeah,
as
but
the
he
council
started
president.
That's right.
Ms. Schertzer.
Yes, to further elaborate on my comment, it was, somebody said, well, he was a member of the board. Being a member of the board has proven to be not a guarantee that the person is a ethical person. Many members of this board over the years have proven to be lowlifes. So,
Not me.
So, I just want to repeat, make this a learning experience and be more judicious, prudent, careful in the future, the way you try to represent the stakeholders. Thank you.
If I could just
Mr. Vice President.
make a quick comment. The items were purchased via the outreach committee, who Mr. Thompson was the chairman of that committee. He asked the president, then Derek Wilecko, to authorize the purchase. No second bid, no third bid was ever made. The items were simply purchased. He took them into his possession for use on the outreach committee. Everything that he did purchase, which totaled over $5,000, came back in a state of disrepair. They are either lost, missing, or useless. That's why I pursued this with the city attorney.
I know.
Mr. Thompson had the fiduciary responsibility to look after the equipment that he asked this council to purchase. All I'm trying to do is locate the equipment that this council purchased and return it to the city so that they know, we're responsible for an inventory. We have to take
We have to
in,
because of our forensic audit. We're
Correct, and
we're on the hot seat about this stuff anyway.
Exactly. Merlo was
because the downtown
really
is on us
upset. That's
for what happened when we weren't in charge.
Correct.
That's
So
Going back,
So-
at the-
so
at the end of the
consequently-
day, it's
so-
still us.
consequently, all we have to do is we have to prove where this equipment is, and we have to, that's why I took a complete audit that I turned into the city. The city wants to know where the equipment is.
How many more things are missing?
Two. So
Two
Candy
items.
and then Monica,
A
and then
camera
we'll
and a laptop.
resolve this or try to come up with something.
Mr.
Candy.
President, again, the neighborhood council gave me the last audit they have from 2009. Benjamin and Ms. Hoff both have stated that they've taken inventories. I would like copies of that. I'm asking for those copies of those inventories.
See
And
done.
who was there that did the inventories?
I did the inventory.
Okay, but I just need a copy of them.
Well,
Monica.
talk to Dunn.
you know, I'm really ticked off.
No, they did not. I want to see that in writing.
Yeah.
You show me that in writing.
Mr. President, I'm just telling you, Mr.
Jeffrey Brill.
Yeah, he told me,
You get him to call me on the phone and tell me that I can release an inventory to you.
Very good. Monica, and then we're moving on.
Yeah, obviously, it is a very volatile topic. I think it is important to be able to have an inventory, of course, of all of these items. Whether they're broken when they're returned or not, I support what Maria had said as far as, I would let this dog lie and then really oversee any sort of future borrowing of equipment or whatever very, very cautiously.
We are.
Maybe a
Yeah, but
maybe a
still missing two
stakeholder,
pieces.
would have to you'd have to check it out with the stakeholder.
Well, in Howard's defense though, we are under a forensic audit and we
Yes,
haven't
yeah.
asked for this, so that's why,
Yeah.
I mean, normally
We
we
need
would,
to
you
account
know,
for it.
if the shrimp cocktail's missing at the end of the meeting, so be it, but because of the Merlot and what he's putting us through from before we were in charge, this is all when it was Derek and Jamie Cordaro and Herbert, so
Yeah, that's
we,
right.
we're on the hot seat and answering for what they
Not
did.
right.
And it's nothing from when we took over, so.
Well,
You should be held accountable.
But I am.
Howard, you're
So if the
absolutely right
status
the
right
way you
now,
feel.
if the status right
You're
now
absolutely
is the
right.
last two
No way.
things,
Except I know
then
that it's not going anywhere. Let's
We all know it's not going anywhere.
Let's get those two pieces. That,
But we're
What are the
we're
two
gonna
pieces?
get those two
Some kind of
pieces.
cords, I don't know, I'll bring them to you and you tell me
Yeah.
where. I brought
Get the
another
two
I
more
know.
pieces, at least we'll return.
You brought a
he,
printer.
I brought an
has
extra printer, and I
plausible
didn't know it was involved, but I
deniability.
brought it so you guys
Okay,
can
so
take a
look, here's what we'll do. We'll leave the language as it was last time, the update on all of the items. We will email the city attorney with a carbon copying Merlot, asking for
Absolutely.
final advisement on what to do. What Ms. Schertzer came up with is fine, minus the fact that we're being audited and we have to answer for this property.
You know, I went through the computer that I got back from Jeanette with a fine tooth comb. It had homework from his kid on it. The computer is to be named. When you buy a computer,
Yeah.
you have to
Right.
name the computer. The name of that computer, when I got it in my possession, was Jonathan, his son, his youngest son.
Oh, my God.
The other computer had his other kid's name on it. When I got it in my possession, I changed it back to VNNC.
And this is the one that's not broken or the?
Well, we don't know. It was water damaged, according to Mr. Moraz.
So the thing that was on the agenda a couple months ago, the exact same language, we'll put it in as old business, basically update on missing VNNC property with final analysis on what we should do. We will do one final loop in the city attorney, one final loop in Merlot, and hopefully that
The right thing to
lets
do,
this dog lie.
the right thing to do is to send a letter explaining everything we know about those equipment.
Oh, no, I've already
Howard
done
has
that.
done that.
Okay, that's all you can
you know,
do, that's all you can do.
I've
You
gone
have the
back
time.
and forth with her 100 times.
No, they, it is, there's a paper trail back and forth.
Just make sure they get the equipment, working or not working, at least to get us off the hook. As long as the number corresponds, the serial numbers.
We just want to live through the forensic audit.
And next time we know what to do, Howard, we know.
Yes,
It's
Karina.
not gonna happen in our watch.
Does this affect on any future purchases too?
No, they've been quite nice in working with us on this, but it is the burr in our saddle, or the, whatever you want to call it, where we have to account for this, because it's like, at the end of the day, there's $5,000 in missing government property, and they're like, Howard, George, where is it? And we're like, well, we don't know. And that's,
They won't let it go.
Yeah.
It's not that I won't let it go, they won't let it go.
All we can do is send a letter stating that those equipment, last we know, so-and-so had it, or it was issued to,
but
and
he's
that's all
done
we
that,
know.
he's done that 10 times over.
I've done that 10 times, and that's why
Because
they're
it
telling,
wasn't-
that's why they're telling us that we have
I
to
know,
take
but it
them
wasn't
to
at the
small
time
claims
that you were
court.
on the board, or I was on the board.
But
We
we're
are on the
responsible
board now.
We're
Yes.
responsible for what they do.
You know,
Oh, my God.
So there's, we'll spin our wheels and go through the motions one more time, and hopefully,
All right. I want permission to buy a new battery for the laptop that we do have.
Yeah.
I see no problem in that at all. It's outreach and.
Is the computer still worth the money? Is it old, new?
It's 11 months old,
Oh, okay.
and it's as
like a
good as, it was
$1,200
a
computer.
1,200 bucks, it was $1,147. It couldn't be better. It's first class.
Yeah.
And it's got a full office suite on it,
All
from
right,
PowerPoint and everything else.
Anything else for the agenda next week?
All right, I
Wait
have
a
a
minute,
list,
let's have Pop
I have a
speak.
list here. I probably have it, excuse me, on my computer, so I can print it back out. but I dated this one, and Howard has one that's actually more recent than mine. This was May 23rd, 2013, and I listed 30-some items on it. I have some serial numbers on it, and I put on the bottom, I do not know what was in the second file cabinet. It was blocked by the credenza and the printer. Howard and I went together to inventory the storage facility. Jamie Cordero, Cat White, and I possessed the combination to the unit. Apparently the lock belongs to Jamie, and the combination was given to our former treasurer and Howard. So, I have this list. I don't like being characterized as a prevaricator because I don't lie. I'm not a thief and I don't lie, and I really don't like the insinuation that I didn't. I will give you this even though it's none of your beeswax.
It's none of my business, it's none of my business?
Yeah, you're not,
You know
you're not
what?
on
That's
committee.
a stakeholder. You guys are asking for this information to be found. You're accusing
Because
somebody of
taxpayer
finding him
dollars
guilty,
were spent
and we're
to
all
buy
saying,
it.
"Sit here, let's find him guilty if he's guilty." And you asked me to do a job, the president asked me to collect the stuff, it was sitting there, I picked it up, brought it to him, and you wanna sit there and criticize me for doing your job?
I'm not criticizing you, we didn't
All
ask
I'm
you to do
looking
it.
for is, I'll find this stuff, and we'll return it. As much as I can, we'll find it. But don't sit there and say I'm accusing you of something, when you guys give me a job to do it, now you're saying I don't have, you wanna find out how much I have a right to do this?
We would appreciate it if you would not do the job.
Right, we didn't ask
I'm
you
gonna
to
do
do
it
it.
because as a stakeholder, I have a right to do it.
All right, anything else for the
Do you
agenda?
have a copy of that?
Oh, yes, one more thing, Mr. President.
Candy,
Mr. President, Christmas is here. Van Nuys was the leader in the holiday decorations. Reseda, Canoga, they all followed Van Nuys. This year we have nothing. Last year we were promised that there was going to be this kind of like for $50 a building, we could decorate the buildings with lights. And it's in the minutes from one of the meetings. And so where's it at? I'd like to have, we can't let this go on. I'd like to put it on the agenda, or I'll just bring it under public comment that we can't allow Van Nuys Boulevard to be
well,
There's
let's,
been no problem.
what's the process of decorating
She's the
Van Nuys? I
treasurer, let her
remember, we had a whole
George,
discussion about the wreaths and
Right, we
you have to
have
do
wreaths
wreath
in
permits.
storage,
and-
exactly.
So,
We have to get permits and we have to have somebody that is recognized by the city to hang it. We can't do it ourselves. There's a liability issue. So we didn't do it because we didn't have someone available to do it, and we didn't have the money set aside and spent ahead of time for all the permits and all of the whatever. So, and with all we've been working on, we kind of let it slip our mind to actually try to get that ahead of time, and you can't do it at the last second.
Not only that,
Wait, and
Let her finish.
I'm sure you're gonna hit upon what I was
Yeah.
about to say, which was, we had that agreement with the fellow that did it last time, and we were supposed to pay him upfront some money because of the fire he had and all of that to help him out. And then after he put it all up, after he took it all down, give him the rest of the money. Well, he got it all up front, and we didn't, for more than a month, it was like almost a month and a half, we had not a zip zilch, and then what he put up was very shoddy. So I gotta tell you that I'm a little upset because it cost us a lot of money, and we didn't get our money's worth for what we got, and the
it
guy
was
got
up
the
for
money
2
all up front.
weeks.
Yeah,
Yeah, I remember
two
that
weeks,
now.
and that
Yeah.
really ticks me off. So the same thing would happen again if we tried it.
And he was
I'm
paid
sorry.
7 weeks in advance.
Exactly, 7 weeks in advance. Why did he wait until 2 weeks before Christmas to put the stuff up, and he got a lot of
I
money
would
for that,
vote
so
for
I'm
him.
sorry, but that's
Change
wrong.
somebody else.
so what do you
Somebody
propose
else.
we do?
somebody
I
else.
propose we don't do it this time because we don't have enough
What happened
time.
to the light show we were gonna have? There was some kind of a light show that was gonna be done.
Find somebody else
I
or
don't know about a
do it.
light show.
Well,
We
there
didn't
was some
have
kind of
any-
thing that for $50, all the buildings could be lit up individually. Well, we'll find the minutes and
Get a bid
we'll
on
read
something.
back.
It was what I brought up,
Oh, were you the one that brought it up?
and it did not pass.
Right,
Oh, I didn't know that.
couldn't do it.
So do we want to have, any type of holiday
It's too late now.
recognition, holiday
It would be nice, but the
party?
problem is how much
Um,
time do we have to sit?
We
it
have
up
no
and-
organizational time whatsoever.
Yeah,
Not
So,
much time.
I mean, usually
They
what the
got
other
yours
neighborhood
already at
councils
the
do is
Ferguson.
just have like a
Surely we
cocktail reception,
we could do
whatever in
that.
December.
Not in this room.
We could do that. We could do that. Something like that would be,
So what do you wanna call it? The VNNC to have a meet and greet from 6:30 to 7 before the meeting next
There you
week?
go.
And we can discuss the ways you could give back, like you could take food to a Dreams thing on Thursday.
which I will do.
The food bank, Candy can brief us on the food bank, or Monica, what do you think?
The mission, the rescue mission?
I think it's a little too late. You know, for years, when I've attended the neighborhood council meetings, previous boards and all, I would always ask them in October, what is on the agenda for the following year? It's absolutely fantastic to stakeholders that every year, Christmas comes December 25th, and every year, come November or December, is when the Van Nuys Neighborhood Council starts to discuss it. You know that this is going to be something that comes up. If you want to allocate $5,000 or $10,000, whatever it is, that should be immediately designated at the first part of the year that this is what it's going to be, you know. The other thing I would say is, as far as the food is concerned, I can tell you that people in the community think that the Van Nuys Neighborhood Council is entirely too focused on food. So
That's
I
some
would,
people. That's not everybody.
Yeah.
May I state pretty please?
Well,
that-
just real quick though, I do think we should have a meet and greet from 6:30 to 7.
Okay.
10 minutes.
Real
10
fast,
minutes.
real fast. I will let you know that last year I brought up this issue in June or July, and I know because I remember I put it in minutes. So I will tell you, we did discuss, I'm talking 2013, we did discuss holiday stuff way ahead of time, but it took months to try to decide, and we had the long agendas and whatever else, and we had the party contacted about putting up the stuff, and then what happened. So we paid him 7 weeks in advance, in full, even though he wasn't supposed to get it that way, and then we had 2 weeks worth of stuff. So I'm sorry, I beg to differ with you, Monica, but we did try, and we got screwed.
And we're not
So
focused just on
I'm
food.
sorry, I didn't want to see the same thing happen again this year. We still have stuff in storage that we couldn't put up, and we talked about knowing we had to get permits, and we did talk about it a month or two ago. But the point is, we got sidetracked on all these other major issues and didn't get back to it.
And we're not focused on food.
I think it's wrong.
Alright, so I make a motion that the VNNC to host a meet and greet from 6:30 to 7 next week as a holiday mixer. During that time, we can do a food drive that we take over to the assembly member. We can discuss what we could do to give back. If we all did super care that much, it will come up at the summit the next week. Anything that we could do for the less fortunate. There's going to be a plethora of speakers in regards to that. That's why we're having the summit in December. I make a motion, the VNNC to host a meet and greet from 6:30 to 7.
Seconded.
With that, I call for the vote, Mr. Secretary.
Okay, President Thomas?
Yes.
Vice President Benjamin?
Yes.
Secretary Hendry, aye. Treasurer Hawk?
Aye.
Mr.
And may I
Nazarian?
add one little
Aye.
quickie?
Yes.
Can we also ask each board member to bring something to that meeting to be given to Mr. Nazarian
Yes.
as a gesture of goodwill, and to show the public what we want to do, so that the following week, hopefully, there'll be some stuff there?
So holiday mixer and food drive, and then we'll just
Yeah.
turn it over to the assembly member.
Correct.
He'll be happy to work with us. Anything
Canned
else?
George,
Yes,
should
Karina.
we try to advertise it through our website?
Yeah,
Yes,
we really
Yes.
should.
Yeah.
I'll write something
Short
up,
notice,
the
but yes,
letter we send out with
absolutely.
this. I'll do a story. in
Clip
the
art.
paper.
Or
We'll-
just
Clip art
say,
Yeah.
any friend mixers would donate or a gift or a can of food.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
Non-perishable
Wrapped
canned good.
new toy
VNNC to
or-
host
or
a meet
canned
and
food.
greet and holiday mixer and food drive from 6:30 to 7. And then
I'm bringing the hula hoop and some canned good.
Who's
I
bringing the
can't wait for the
Who's
hula
bringing the
hooping
booth?
at 6:30 next Wednesday.
Hey, I
Anybody
can't-
else
no,
have
I
anything
can't
for
do
the
anymore.
agenda?
I would keep it, but anyway.
I want to
Going
ask
once.
Monica what she meant focus
So I
on
don't want
food.
to speak in public comment.
All right, well, we have 5 minutes, so,
We have less than 5 minutes.
all right.
We've gotta get out of here
Also,
by
in
8 o'clock.
old business, we're gonna have the consideration and possible vote on filling vacant
10
seats.
minutes.
So anybody next week that presents to us a application, we'll be voting on, so that's gonna stay as old business. Donna Pearman, you're recognized.
Okay, so I understand last time was very long, but I'm hoping that in the future, the meetings will have a public comment for, at the end, for people who possibly can't get here, because the buses are horrible. It took me forever to get here today, because it's like bottleneck traffic. And I realize you're trying to get it where the meetings are not quite so long, so they don't last to midnight, but maybe we'll need to get it so the board members don't quite talk so long. Because I believe they, some of them repeat themselves. So, and I like the idea if there's a whole crowd of people saying the same thing, that they have one person delegating and speaking 10 minutes instead of going on for a half hour with the public saying the same thing, so.
Fair enough.
I agree with you.
Anyone else for public comment? Going once. Going twice. Any announcements? It is my honor and privilege to